Hello everyone, I'm taking a retake for I don't know how many times, but welcome back finally to my channel. Namaste everyone. I hope this video finds you in peace and safety, especially in the light of what has been happening around currently. And I'm definitely 110% sure that this video is going to uplift you spiritually, because it's going to help you in the advancement of your soul. And all the challenges that you've been tackling. It will give you a message, 110% sure, guaranteed, certified, because I'm talking about Jupiter. Jupiter is the great planet actually in our solar system that helps the entire solar system get have a it's like a precautionary sort of a instrument kept in our solar system that helps us get rid of all these unwanted asteroids and other whateveroids that come our way and are probably harmful. And this Jupiter being so dense and voluminous actually helps them keep all at bay. Similar is what the imprint is for us in our life when we talk about Jupiter in our psyche and in our cells and how what it is doing holistically to us. So Jupiter is the big savior, and this is not just superstition, this is real thing, and I'll tell you how that happens. Jupiter signifies, so there are, if you can take your brain, okay, I'll tell you, your brain is a brain, but your brain has an imprint of these 12 different segments in life that are these karmic phases. So these are your 12 houses in the Vedic astrology, and these 9 planets that are like these energy systems, and it's like these circuits within you. Each one of us have it. Going back to the same theory of non-discrimination and understanding really what peace and unity is in its truest sense, that you are made of 5 elements, so am I. You are made of these 9 planets, so am I. This energy works in you, it does in me too. The only way that there is any divide happening is that's only because that you are going through a certain timeline and I am going through a certain timeline, that's all. And that particular timeline, which you can call the periods, the dasha systems in the Vedic Jyotish, this is essentially creating some individuality. At the soul level, we're all the same and we know it. So mentally, in our room, in our house, or in whatever case and scenario we are going through this hell within us. It's an emotional, mental ruckus. And then when we step out, we talk to someone, we get to know that, hey, they've faced it too. This is what is called being human. Welcome to the human experience. This is life. This really what all astrology is about. So the Jupiter that is in me is in you too, and you can keep all the distractions or the negativity at bay, just like that Jupiter is doing in the solar system. It's not negativity, that asteroid or meteoroid that will probably hit or whatever and can cause problem to the solar system. It's actually keeping all of the problems away. Similarly, in our life, Jupiter, it's not you keeping all the problems away, but rather it's like you are in a situation where there is a lot of darkness, right? But then there's one flame that may sometimes flicker. It may sometimes flicker, but it is not really flickering when you need it the most. And it's there amidst the darkness, and that is Jupiter. Now let me take a very grave example of it, but that really sets the tone of how serious this planet is. Because often people think that seriousness comes from Saturn, but that's not the case. seriousness actually stems like deep rooted seriousness, like very deep rooted seriousness, wherein it's not just talks, it becomes life, and it becomes applied knowledge that is actually wisdom, is Jupiter. So the example is that, let's say you're about to do something to yourself which is very harmful. You're probably going to take a step towards harming yourself. There is some person that becomes the medium and stops you from doing that. There is something that happens. It could be even a non-living entity, non-living thing that stops you from doing that, and that is Jupiter. Because it's the internal guru, it's the internal teacher, it's the internal knowledge, it's the internal knowledge trying to break heart from its prison and wanting to become wisdom. So it is just not wanting to be a philosophical jargon in your life, in your mind, intellectually, but it's wanting to convert into wisdom, and that's when you stop from committing suicide. That's what stops you from, that's what prevents you from taking a step that's so grave, because it's all darkness. You can apply this to other things also in life. Like for example, let's take a small example of you bashing the other faith systems that are there in this life. Okay, you do not respect them, and then boom, you are challenged by situations that challenge you, your fundamental rights and your truth. So if in Hindi I have to use these words, in Hindi it would be dharma. When I say your truth, your dharma, and your fundamental right, that means your dharmic duties, and in order to fulfill those duties, what you have to do. But when I use these words, these are actually, in new age, people are not understanding these words, henceforth I don't use them. And I know the kind of audiences that come to my channel. I'm very aware because I check my analytics. Okay, that's why, being an informed creator, I just want to tell you also that I keep a tab, and for people who have no shame in using these words like dharma or whatever, by the way, I also wanted to make a video just to tell you that dharma actually just simply means what the truth is. That's all. That is all. It is not religion. Oh my God. And while for me, my dharma is in line with this, for my neighbor, their dharma is in line with that. That is their truth. This is my truth. Let's all be happy with this. This is another thing. But in today's time, so I was in the example is also pretty much linked to the second point that I wanted to talk about, that Jupiter is also related with faith systems, because that light that saved you from committing suicide or doing something harmful to yourself or to others, amidst darkness there was a light that dawned upon you and actually led you to do the right things. It also helps you keep your faith system intact, because you cannot respect your own faith unless you don't respect other people's faith. And like, let's say it the otherwise, you cannot respect a human being if you don't respect their faith system. You have to respect everyone's faith system, provided that faith comes from light. It should not come from darkness, because there are also institutions, organizations that are anti-human in today's time, and they're essentially leading to anti-human activities like human trafficking, terrorism. It's also leading to violence, prostitution, child pornography, and assault. These are some very grave activities, and this all starts with faith actually. So when the human mind is not conditioned in such a way that it starts to believe oppressed, and it starts to believe that my faith is or me as an individual do not have the liberty to exercise what I want, but rather this young human mind is actually uplifted to respect everyone and respect the self. That sort of unity only Jupiter can tell you. And let's go back to the story of Samudra Manthan. I always have to bring Samudra Manthan. It is as simple as that, because a lot of things about the planets can be understood from there, and then also the planets, the 9 whole planets also came in proper system and its functionality from there itself. So when we talk about Jupiter there actually was not a part of the war directly, but Jupiter played a very big role. The Brahaspati, which is Jupiter in Hindi, so he was there, and he's the teacher of all the suras. He's the teacher of all these gods standing in the kingdom, in the abode of the Lord, and he is actually guiding all of them to do that. This is the right thing, you have to do this. And there I think the right thing to do was to not panic, to think long term, to play fair with the Asura, who was Swarbhanu at that time and had appealed for the nectar of immortality. So Jupiter had a lot of strategic thinking to lead the Suras into the path, and if that step had not been there, nothing would have happened, right? So Jupiter's quality is to guide. Jupiter's quality is to guide the person into thinking long term in a very strategic way, long term strategic way, and keeping peace, keeping respect. That's very important. But then also knowing what's right and dealing with it accordingly. It's been 13 minutes, I have not used any technical jargons so far about astrology, that it's faith, it's this, it's that. Everybody knows that by now, but it's all apparently your terms that content creators have to, generate in 100 long paragraph. What is the times that you should have a keyword at least? Don't go on all of that. Astrology is a very deep science that is sitting right within you. If you want to know astrology, do nothing, just close your eyes and you'll actually understand everything, because all you have to do is understand yourself. Simple. Yeah. So Jupiter is that light within you that makes you respect others, that also helps you in discrimination of what's right and wrong. That's the truth. At the same time, it does not react. Brahaspati had not reacted at that point of time, and the gods came to them out of panic to seek help as to what to do further. And you can take it as if not some entities like gods, otherwise this whole story of Samudra Manthan, take it as the stream of consciousness within you as to what happens in general with all of us. And Jupiter is a lot of faith, it's a lot of abundance, it's a lot of benevolence, to be very honest with you. Because of that reason, it cannot disrespect others. Henceforth, to true people with wisdom, because if let's say Jupiter is wisdom, do not disrespect others' faith. They do not say कि तेरा faith, तेरा जो system है ना पूजा पाठ करने का, ये खराब है और मेरा अच्छा है. They do not say this. इन द मोमेंट यू स्टार्ट डूइंग दिस, जिस समय आप किसी की डिसरिस्पेक्ट करने लगते हो या किसी की फेथ की डिसरिस्पेक्ट करने लगते हो, आप अपने कर्म बहुत बिगाड़ने लगते हो. So don't do that. And actually I'm done with this point. I've said that in repetition a lot. Are there any other points that are coming to my mind at the moment for Jupiter? Yes, Jupiter at the end of the day, I mean, what all I told you was pretty much Sagittarius so far. If I have to tell you the higher octane of Jupiter, which is your I'm sorry, I don't even know if it's an octave or it's octane, but I know that it's the higher frequency and wavelength of the same Sagittarius, the first part in the zodiac system which has Jupiter's in its layer and its abundance. And then it comes Pisces. Pisces is the end one. When Pisces comes into the picture, the person begins to dissolve its identity. So in the Sagittarius, there was a lot of in that karmic cycle of 9th house or Sagittarius, there was a lot of this, that belief system, holding on to what's right, and a lot of realism like that. And then comes Pisces, which is a lot of realism with surrealism. Strange, I know, right? It's very strange. But now there you've got these very trippy experiences that you have in life, which if you talk about to others, they're like, what are you saying? Why are you so daydreaming or all fantasized up? And because the best way to explain Pisces would be that, you know, those people who go through near-death experiences, when they come back from their coma or whatever that jolt was that put them on halt, they come back from it and they're like, I saw this, this happened to me, this was an experience. Bhai, you can see that person was just literally on the bed, nothing, they cannot write this up, but they come back with these experiences. What is that? That is Pisces. That's what I meant by trippy experience. And when this Pisces happens to you, now the experience was surreal, but then this is also leading you to realism, because Jupiter is a no-nonsense planet. It leads you to realistic experiences only. Just that the difference between Sagittarius and the difference between Pisces is very different. Everything that I explained you was a little bit of Sagittarius. What I'm explaining you now is a lot of Pisces. Pisces comes with these big flavors of inner experiences that lead you to understand that even my identity is nothing. At the end of the day, what is right and what is wrong, everything has to dissolve into one supreme consciousness. That means that everything has to leave one day. Nothing will be left one day. So it brings you moksha, like leaving of things and letting go of things, and a culmination sort of takes place of the whole cycle that you have lived, probably, wherein you are like, it's okay, I have to leave everything one day, so I have to let go of everything one day. And it brings you closer to the part that it's a cycle, because if Aries is the first zodiac sign in the system and Pisces is the last one, right? And then again after Pisces is what? Aries. It's a cycle. If this is the first house in the zodiac system, just imagine, and this is the 12th one, so it's a cycle. After every end there's a beginning, and after every beginning there's an end. It's also said that the end is the beginning and every beginning is an end. So that whole thing is Pisces. And when you get all these things, Sagittarius says, I understand. Sagittarius life cycle, the 9th house cycles, karmic understandings can make you a very understanding person in general, and it leads you to things like counseling, guidance, all of that. Then there is Pisces. When you are very much like, I know there could be some people that explain Pisces more, because I know it so happens in a lot of random astrological videos that the person or astrologer who's talks a lot more about one thing and the other not. If something comes to me intuitively about Pisces, I'll definitely not leave that in this video. But yeah, Pisces began to say, I believe. I was always questioning. And now I'm never going to question again. I understand everything now because that person has come back from their near-death experience. Do you understand that thing? This is what happens. Pisces also brings you, it takes you closer to a lot of grief, because a cycle is ending. It could be of anything. It could be anything. Apply to it whatsoever. Career-wise, relationship-wise, financially, psychologically, maybe something that you were holding on to so closely. And it comes with a lot of grief, and there's a void after it. But it's not just sadness. It's also a very daydreamy space, okay, which brings you a lot of relaxation. Imagine you were holding on to so many things, and then suddenly you experience this energy of NDE, which is the near-death experience. I'm just taking that example just to stay grounded to that one, anchored to that one thing, so that you can understand the whole thing. And this person comes back and is like, kya marne ka kya hai? What is there to worry about when I'm dying? It's okay. Dying is another experience at the end of all of it. Am I happy in this moment or not? That's all that matters. These people will begin to talk about awareness, and like, of course, with every yin there's a yang, with every dark there's a light, with every two sides of the coin. You know it. Got it, right? So there are negatives also. Don't think that there's also, if this energy is not channelized in the right manner, it could lead you to certain like behaviors that you're not ready to let go. Now take it in whatever context. I don't want to contextualize it for you because you are the viewer, you know it better, but I can give you example, but you know what I mean. Those patterns that do not help you in any way in letting go. Okay, if I have to take the example of NDE again, it could be that you do not believe it. One example could be this, and henceforth you don't let it go. Another example is that you clinch to it very much, that you get yourself into a paranoia sorts. Or it could be that you know everything now, but you're not completely denying everything, and you're again going back to the same cycles of leading a life of less awareness. So essentially it empties your bags of so many weightage so much, all that baggage. It lightens it actually lightens your soul. Pisces is that sign, and it leads you to from organized faith to like experiential faith, to actually experiencing the divine. And you're like, oh my god, so far I was only experiencing an organized version of things, that इससे होता है, ऐसे होता है, ऐसे होता है, and then I experience some faith क्योंकि सुबह जाना पड़ता है मंदिर. Maybe I have to go to the temple, I have to sit for meditation, I have to do this for the sake of doing it, but then there is Pisces waiting for you, or that lesson of the 12th house waiting for you, and you're like, no, these things are real, this happens, and this is not organized, this is real. And that's when you close your eyes and you sleep peacefully, which is the reason why if there's Rahu, if there's Ketu, if there's Saturn, or even if there's Mars in the 12th house or in Pisces, you have certain energy related to sleep, certain energy patterns, to be precise, related to sleep. I don't want to make this video negative and tell you, because it's not one size fits all, which people don't understand. There are like lot of combinations. So what do we call permutation combinations, like so many things. So one size doesn't fit all here, And I cannot say that if you're a Ketu in Pisces, oh, you have difficulty sleeping. No, it depends. It depends. If you see someone Rahu in Pisces, oh, you have difficulty in sleeping. No, it depends. They could definitely be experiencing that pattern, but are they experiencing it now? Do not make this a fear-based sort of a system. Make this a very comforting and guiding experience for the other person, because that person has come to you because they're lost, henceforth the guidance, because that person is lost in the darkness so much, there could be some sort of anxiety also, henceforth safety. You have to do this mindfully, but there are also times where you have to be mindful to your duty and not please the other person. Astrology is not about pleasing the other one. This can only come with true practice, true spiritual practices, wherein you do not tell the other person so that the other person is all pacified. No, if there's something that this is what it is and they've come to you for the truth and guidance, you have to tell them. It's simple. Because again, ending the video with Jupiter is a no-nonsense planet, henceforth a counselor has, or a guiding person has to be a no-nonsense sort of a person. This is the truth. Just like teachers. So Saturn is also a teacher, but it teaches you in its own different way, and your Jupiter is a different sort of a teacher, and it teaches you in its own different way. But any teacher whatsoever is not lenient and probably pushes you to do your best, and for that they have to be truthful. Any mentor, any coach who is there to genuinely uplift you and guide you, and not to make just purely a buck out of it, not just purely to mint money out of you, but for genuine purposes and concerns. So this is the whole package of Jupiter that could be provided. And what else? Chant the Guru mantra and stay positive. See you.